Hello and welcome. So in this video I'm just going to do a demo of Flextail Gear's new battery operated 20 psi SUP pump. Now Flextail Gear, they make something which I think is one of the best things I use camping, and that's this, which is the Tiny Pump. This is actually the Tiny Pump 2X, which is a little tiny pump for pumping up air mattresses and the like. They also make this, which is called the Max pump. Now I've done videos on both these things. Tiny pump is very good for air mats and things. It's got a light on, so it doubles as a camping light as well. This Max pump, it does a similar job, but it's a little bit bigger, a little bit more powerful, and I have had it blow up my inflatable kayak to about 85–90%. But you know, I was pushing it to its limit, and there's no way that either of these could blow up a paddleboard because you need the PSI. So Flextail Gear are currently working on this. As I say, this is their SUP pump, and it's right now it's available on their Kickstarter thing. Now I'm not entirely sure what Kickstarter is, if I'm being totally honest. I think it's where you can kind of support a project by paying money, and the project goes through to, you know, production. You then get the product for less than they would be selling it in the shops. So it's a way of them helping fund what they're trying to produce, and you getting a good price for being the early bird and all that sort of thing. So there's a link to their Kickstarter program in the description of the video. This is one of their demo models of the SUP pump that they have sent me to help promote their Kickstarter jobby. And I paddleboard, and I absolutely detest pumping up my paddleboard. It's the thing that puts me off going. You know, if I'm being honest, I'll think, oh, it's a lovely day, I go paddleboarding, I think, oh god, I gotta pump it up. But hopefully this thing will change all that, because you can get SUP pumps, you know, and they're really expensive, a lot of them. I'm not sure what this is going to retail at in the end. Maybe go on their Kickstarter thing and have a look at some of the details if you are interested, because you know, you could perhaps get one of these at a bargain price by supporting the company. But yeah, I've had this for a few days. I've not really used it, so this is a demo, and we're gonna, you know, find our way together. But it feels solid in my hands. Some of its characteristics. It's the usual, you know, Flextail Gear colouring. You've got these rubberized bits on the bottom, so when you do put it down, it doesn't sound all plasticky and all. These are quite grippy. When I've chucked it on the side in the kitchen, you know, it doesn't slip and slide about. You've got an on and off switch underneath, and in here you've got a, what's that say, USB-C and a DC charging port. That's the word I was looking for. Then obviously the main pump itself, and one of these is for inflation, one of them is for deflation. I'm not sure what I'm pointing at. It says it on them, but I can't see because I'm pointing it at you. And as well as those bits, obviously you get the hose that attaches to the pump, and then that is a sort of standard paddleboard adapter, as it were, but then they put all these other weird ones on as well, for in case, I guess, you know, they're trying to cover all bases with us in terms of what boards it can pump up. And you also get the car charger, so that goes into your 12-volt jobby in your car, what used to be a cigarette lighter, and that's the DC thing. Alternately, you can use the USB Type-C to charge it up at home. So in my experience, I've seen these kind of pumps being used by people, and generally they're attached to their car while they're pumping up. I've never seen a battery one. You know, maybe there are loads of battery ones, but I've never seen one out and about. So, you know, it's a good thing, because you're not always pumping your board up right next to your car. So it's nice to be able to walk down to the river or lake or whatever, pump up, you know, take this with you, or walk it back to the car and chuck it in the boot. So let's do a demo and let's see how it works. So information wise, this is called the Max SUP pump. It's 20 psi cordless electric air pump for SUPs and kites. It's got a 9,600 mAh battery, 0 to 20 psi. They say it can pump up to 6 SUPs in a row. It's got 3 smart modes, auto on and off, and dual stage and cooling system. So it says the pump weighs 1.2 kilos, but 1.7 with the battery version. Now this is the battery version. Inflates 6 boards in a row, as I've said, and it's got an auto shut off to prevent overinflation. So what I need to do is pump up a board. Interested to see how long it takes. Pretty sure in the promotional stuff it says something like 7 to 9 minutes, something like that. So let's put that to the test. This is my, what is it, Tiger X Bang board. I think I normally pump it up to about 11-12 psi, and mostly that's because I get tired and lazy and I can't bother to go any further. So we're going to set it for 12. Screw that onto the pump. Budge up. Put the pump down. So I've got a stopwatch in place. That's set for 12 psi. Let's turn that on, and how do I do this? I'll just leave it doing its thing for a second. I'll come away from the noise. So yeah, it kind of worked like a normal pump. It just made that whooshing sound and it was shooting up. I didn't realise that was, you know, sort of decimal point of a PSI. So it got up to, when it hit 1 PSI, the tone of it then changed, like it's working harder. I think it's got some dual spinny thing in there. Does that make sense? And now it's, you know, going full power and chugging away. But I think the first stage was just blowing air, and now it's pushing air. Does that make sense? Because getting the PSI is why most pumps struggle. Let's see what we're on now, and how much time's gone. 4.2. And that's starting to feel like it's pumping up. So 4 minutes gone, and there's my neighbour. Hello. 4 minutes gone, and we're about 6 psi. So their claim of, you know, 7 to 9 minutes. At this rate, it'll be done in 8 minutes. So their claim's about bang on. So yeah, we'll see. When it gets to the 12, which is what I set it for, I'll be interested to see if it just stops, because that's what it should do in my mind. It does make a racket. 5 minutes. 7.8. That's fantastic. I'm really excited. I can't wait for summer now. I know it's not paddleboard season, but I think they're trying to launch this thing in time for the spring, which is, you know, fair enough. They're a business, and they're a good business. I've had dealings with Flextail gear for the last year or two. I bought their tiny pump with my own money when it first came out, because I heard about it off of someone else. And honestly, hand on heart, it's one of my favourite things. It just works really well. They've sent me, since then, I made a video of that first one, and they saw that and emailed me to say thank you, and then they sent me, I think they sent me the Max pump, they sent me a pillow and a couple of other bits, mosquito repellent, and all their gear that I've used, it just works. So, you know, I've got high hopes for this as well. But yeah, they're nice people, and they seem to design things quite well. It's really cold. 11.6, almost there. Please stop at 12. Oh. That's excellent. I almost swore. Oh, I'm so pleased. 7 minutes 40. Let's have a look at the display here. 12 psi, which is what I set it to. We're on the SUP setting, and out of 4 battery bars, 1 is gone. So they say it can do 6 boards, but I guess boards are different sizes. Mine's quite a large board, and it's used 1 bar of battery, so you can definitely pump up 4 boards and potentially a little bit more. I mean, I've been toying with this at home. I haven't charged it at all since I got it, and I've had it off and on a few times just for a minute or two, just messing about with it. So the 6 board claim is pretty close. You got to give them that, and to do it in 7 minutes 40 seconds, that's unreal. No more pumping away like an idiot and getting on my board absolutely shattered. Yeah, really pleased. And it's got a deflate function, so we might as well go the whole hog and demo it. I'll stick it on high speed, just so you don't get too bored of air going in and out. But, you know, I want to be able to deflate my board properly and reasonably quickly, and without having to spend ages trying to roll it up. So let's do that. Hate this bit. So obviously to deflate, all you got to do is take it off of one and screw it onto the other. Get on there. So we're now on deflate, and obviously it's just blowing air out the other end, so that the pump obviously works, you know, in one way, out the other, and when you reverse the hose pipe, it's just doing the opposite thing. So it makes sense how that works. We'll leave that running and yeah, see how well it sucks the air out of my board. Tell you what though, all of these attachments are coming off. They get in the way, but I suppose once you got the one for your board, really, that's all you need. Oh, that did not take long at all. The deflation, obviously, there's a lot of pressure in there, and once you pop the valve, you know, your work is half done. Oh, but that is so easy. Yep, it's official. I'm in love. this thing is pretty bloody cool. Effortless paddleboarding. And for a lazy man like me, that's something to behold. Well, that's my demo of the Flextail Gear Max SUP pump, cordless pump for paddleboards and the like. And yeah, it genuinely has knocked my socks off. I'm really impressed, and I can't wait. I can't wait for the paddleboarding season, because if you go paddleboarding, you'll understand that pumping them up is such a pain in the arse. You're sweating, you know, it's a summer sport, so you're doing this blooming pumping for about 20 minutes, and I'm exhausted by the time I pump my board up normally. So having this in my kit to just stand there and, you know, drink a beer while my board pumps itself up, I can't wait. Right, yes, check the video description, as I said. Check out the Kickstarter thing. I'm not sure when the real release date of these is. I think there's about 3 weeks left on the Kickstarter thing. So if you want to get in and support the thing on the ground floor, so it'll help the company, you know, push this sort of thing forwards, because I say they're a great company and their stuff is genuinely very good. So thank you so much for watching. I gotta go, I'm late for picking my kids up. It also looks like a droid. See you later.